I'm Chief Meteorologist Tony Petrarca on the Pinpoint 12 Forecast Center. You've clicked on the Weather Now link. A lot to cover, which includes obviously Hurricane Dorian. We're tracking some scattered showers for this evening, a few isolated thunderstorms. There's a quick look at Dorian, and it remains just impressive, obviously. That's the infrared satellite photo. The wind speeds have come down. It doesn't mean we have a weak hurricane. It's still a powerful storm. Winds now are at 150 miles per hour. It's stalled over Grand Bahama Island off the coast of Florida. We're going to get back to Dorian in just a second. I want to start locally, tracking some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Though so far the Doppler radar, fortunately, has not been that impressive as far as at least any severe weather or thunderstorms. It's just had a few showers coming through a few locations. You notice more activity out towards central Connecticut, all ahead of a cold front. I mean, the only severe storm that we see right now, this was actually a severe storm in New York City a little while ago, and now Fire Island under a severe thunderstorm warning. That's well to our south in that circle. So how we'll play things out here is that we'll keep scattered showers and some thunder in the forecast for this evening up and through about midnight. I think the risk of widespread severe thunder is small, but can't rule out an isolated strong thunderstorm this evening. So that's how things will play out. In the meantime, we're again tracking those evening showers and scattered thunderstorms. Next system would be on Wednesday with an approaching cold front out ahead of it, very warm and muggy. Some thunderstorms late in the day and Wednesday evening. That may be a little interesting, as that some of these storms may be strong midweek. And then, of course, tracking Dorian. Now, obviously, in the short term, the big concerns of the Bahamas, obviously, Florida through North Carolina. But as the storm peels back out over the ocean and to our south, we'll have to watch it closely for Friday for any possible fringe effects. Early calls at a direct hit doesn't seem likely, but I mean, obviously, you don't want to turn your back on it at all. But the waves will be kicking up at the end of the week. Rip current risk, surf advisories, and things like that. And perhaps getting grazed with some rain and wind along the south shore. We'll get to that in just a second. In the meantime, satellite and radar composite tracking a cold front off to our west, and out ahead of it you see some of the scattered showers and thunderstorms. So we'll keep that in the forecast for this evening through about midnight. And again, the risk, albeit small, is that some isolated thunderstorms may be strong with some damaging wind, but right now, based on what we're looking at, the chances are pretty small. All right, we take you to the East Coast, and clearly sticking out there is a Category 4 powerhouse Hurricane Dorian, stalled over Grand Bahama Island and off the Florida coastline. We get a high-resolution satellite photo loop here. This is the black and white imagery, and it clearly shows the eye of the storm. And this is right in here. This is Grand Bahama Island. And I mean, it has been stalled here for like 6 hours. Just sad. It's just a catastrophic situation for that island. I've seen some video on social media, people in their attics, trapped in their attics as the water is rising due to the storm surge. Now, the eye will slowly pull away from the island, and then all thinking here is that the center of the storm is going to parallel the Florida coastline. So while Florida certainly has some big impacts, the forecast does not call for a direct landfall, but certainly the east coast of Florida, not out of the woods as far as high impact weather. And you can see the track of the storm the last couple of days has been moving off to the west, and now we're waiting for that north turn. Here's a look at the Doppler radar, and it's in radar range now. And we're getting some tropical bands impinging the Florida coastline right now, bands of heavy rain and wind, but the main core of the storm remains offshore and essentially stalled. It's only moving at about 1 mile per hour to the west-northwest. So that's where it's located right now. The forecast track remains consistent in that it just parallels off the east coast of Florida, really paralleling the entire southeast coast. But certainly high-risk weather remains for the coast of Georgia, south, and at North Carolina. Then eventually, the storm peeling away south of New England on Friday, well to our south. That yellow represents the cone of uncertainty. In other words, the center of the storm could really pass anywhere within that yellow area, but the red line is the forecast track from the National Hurricane Center as to where the center of the storm would be, and that would be several hundred miles south and east of our coastline. Here's one of our computer models that we use, and it's showing the storm again passing offshore but grazing, especially the south coast, the Cape and the islands, with some rain and some wind, some big surf, big waves offshore. And any wobble to the left or right would have a significant impact as far as how the weather plays out later on Friday. Now, that's still several days down the road, so obviously stay tuned on that. In the meantime, in the short term, scattered showers and thunderstorms for this evening, some heavy, some locally strong. Temps will drop into the upper 60s. We've got a decent day coming up for tomorrow, increasing sunshine Tuesday morning. Temperature starting off in the upper 60s, and then seasonably warm on Tuesday. Sunshine, light southeast wind, and looking at afternoon temperatures that'll be in the upper 70s. So wrapping it up, in the short term, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms this evening. Obviously tracking Dorian, high risk for the Florida East Coast, Georgia, South, and North Carolina. As the storm pulls away from North Carolina on Wednesday, it passes south and east offshore of southern New England on Friday. May get some fringe or grazed effects with some rain and wind. A direct impact from a landfalling hurricane at this point seems unlikely, but certainly not ruling anything out. But that's the early call right now. Maybe getting grazed with some rain and wind along the south shore on Friday. No doubt the waves are going to pick up later in the week. The rip current risk and the surf and things like that. So we'll keep you posted. We're taping this it's a little after 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Eyewitness News starts at 5 o'clock. We'll have team coverage on Dorian, give you the latest, and of course here on WPRI.com, and this particular link right here called Weather Now. So thanks for logging in, and we'll talk to you soon.